Good morning. Welcome to 365 Days of Richer Living, daily morning reading, meditation, and prayer time. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia. Today is November 8th. I demonstrate through the perfect law. And our reference quote this morning comes from Thrice Greatest Hermes. And as he thinketh, all things manifest. He manifests through all things, and in all things, and most of all, in whatsoever things he wills to manifest. Christ's Greatest Hermes. Our reading begins. All laws are laws of God. Whatever reality is, its nature is one. If I wish to demonstrate my good, I must faithfully and fervently declare that the law of the Lord is perfect, and that this law is operating in my experience now. I believe that it is the nature of thought to externalize itself, to bring about conditions which exactly correspond to the thought. Therefore, I turn resolutely from every sense of lack, want, and limitation, and declare the perfect law, knowing that even though I am dealing with an invisible principle, it will be made manifest in my experience. Therefore, today I declare that the law of the Lord is perfect in everything I do. I will externalize happiness. I will bring every good thing to me. Today, I am inwardly aware that there is a secret way of the law of the soul. There is a secret pathway of peace. There is an invisible presence forever externalizing itself for me and through me. Today, I believe in divine guidance. Today, I believe that underneath are the everlasting arms. Today I rest in this divine assurance and this divine security. I know that not only all is well with my soul, my spirit, and my mind, all is well with my affairs. I sincerely believe that there is a divine presence and a law of good, which attracts every person and everything to me that belongs to me, and which flows through me, reaches out to everything in my life with love, with consideration, in joy and gladness. So let's take that into our time of meditation and contemplation. So with this breath, I go inward and I recognize that there's one power, one presence, one mind, one love, one peace, one light, one body, many cells, one mansion, many rooms, one mind, many thoughts, one body, many parts, many cells. And I recognize that this one is the substance and the source and the activity of all creation. And being the substance and the source and the activity, it must be the creation itself. Because the physical is simply the demonstration of the source, the substance, and the activity. It is the animation of those invisible elements, those invisible aspects, that invisible triune nature of creation. All form is creator in form, held in perfect balance by the mind, by consciousness itself, by the infinite, eternal, nameless substance of all creation. And yet we refer to it by many, many names, names that are limited by the concept held in the name, and yet it is unlimited. So I speak my word, claiming and affirming that there is an awakening. There's an awakening within the culture, within the brain, within the ideas of humanity, that God, Buddha, Allah, Great Spirit, the Great Mystery, the universe, energy, whatever name referring to the divine, referring to consciousness itself, that there is an awakening that the name itself and the concept we hold of it is limiting us from experiencing the unlimited. To awaken us to the reality that to argue for a single concept is to argue for limitation. That we might open to a greater idea, to an expansive notion, to an I don't know, that allows us to become teachable, that allows us to experience so much more of this eternal beingness. So much more. I speak my word, claiming and affirming that life truly is unfolding perfectly. And that everything that has ever happened has been a movement of consciousness that reveals and heals. that there is a place, that there is a state of being that is emancipated from all discord, and that is sure to happen. And that the happening of that I do not know the how. And so I speak my word this morning, reminding my human self that it is happening with every breath, with every thought, with every manifestation, with every response or reaction. The emancipation process is happening. That humanity, that life itself, that everything in form is being emancipated from discord. That it is a process driven by freedom, a process informed by freedom. And I remind myself that freedom begins in mind. And I remind myself that I am free. I have always been free. More than free in this physical plane. I choose to be free mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Free to experience the full depth and breadth of the truth of my being. Free from any limiting concepts that I've been socialized to believe. That is the freedom I choose today. The freedom to be free of all discord. The freedom to align with the truth of my being. The freedom to be guided from consciousness, from an awareness, from an experience of consciousness. Free to fully express all that God came here to express in, through, and as me. I am free to be. And that no situation, no circumstance, no law, no governing body can remove that freedom. It is a freedom that comes from within. It is a freedom that comes from aligning my human self with the divine self. It is a freedom that comes from knowing my value. And as I know my value, I know the value of each and every expression in this physical realm. And I am free from the conditioning of more or less, greater and worse. I am free from the conditioning of superiority. I am free from the conditioning of power over. And I stand in this amazing experience of true inclusion. An experience where every expression belongs simply because consciousness itself thought them into being. They belong. They belong simply because they are. All life belongs in life. So I celebrate. I celebrate that no human power can rob my calm, can rob my freedom, can rob my joy. I celebrate that the power that created me empowers me to be fully present with every moment in this physical realm without being overtaken by it. I celebrate that law, the activity of law, is being law, that it is receiving the impress of thought, that it is being moved by consciousness, that consciousness is moving law. It is one and the same. And that law is responding to the desires. That law is responding to the belief, not the behavior. That law is unfolding life just as perfectly today as it did in all of eternity. And I trust. And so I let go. I let go of any need that tells me I need to control. I release it knowing that is the very reactive idea that caused my pain to begin with. I let go of the lie that the human me knows better than the divine me. I let go of that lie. I let go of the lie that somehow, some way, the goodness of life is no more. I release that lie because I recognize that every lie stands in the way, impedes my experience of the perfection of life unfolding. And so I open to the mystery. I sit calmly in the storm and remind myself, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still. Be. And so it is. Namaste.